Okay, I welcome you once again to Kenya Mathematics Classroom. This is our question for today. If tan theta is equal to x, find sin theta where theta is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 90 degrees, okay? So if tan theta is equal to x, you have to find sin theta where theta is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 90, okay? So that's the question. Now, how do we solve for this? From the question, we are given tan theta to be equal to x. We have to find sin theta, okay? So sin theta is question mark. That's what we are looking for. We are told that theta is greater or equal to 0 but less or equal to 90. So it's an acute. You need to understand that. It's an acute angle. Now, we can say that tan theta is the same as x over 1 because x over 1 is the same as x, okay? So now, if it's an acute angle, you have our y, you have our x. This is where we have the angle, okay? Now, theta will be here. That's an acute angle. Greater or equal to 0, but less or equal to 90, okay? Now, tan theta is x over 1. Tan is twa, okay? And when we say twa, that is opposite over adjacent. So if tan theta is the same as x over 1, then opposite is x. And if the theta is here, then the opposite will be x. Then the adjacent is 1. So the adjacent is 1 here. So what we don't know is our hypotenuse is question mark. I hope it's clear. So we are going to solve for the h. Now, how do you solve for h? From Pythagoras theorem, okay? From Pythagoras theorem, we have it that the square on the longer side is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides of the right angle triangle. Okay, so h square is equal to x square plus 1 square, okay? And this is the same as a square equals x square plus 1 because 1 square is 1. So if you want to find h, you have to take the square root of both sides. And we have x square plus 1 on the right hand side because when you take the square root of the left hand side, the 2 will take care of the square root. So the square root is gone. So h is equal to the square root of x square plus 1. Now, why are we doing this? Because we have to find sin theta. And we know that sine is so opposite over hypotenuse, okay? So the opposite to the angle is x. So x is known over hypotenuse. That's the longest side, okay? And now we have it to be the square root of x square plus 1, okay? So that is the square root of x square plus 1. So that is the answer, okay? That is the answer. So from the question, we are given tan theta to be equal to x. You have to find sin theta. And this is the condition that theta is greater or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 90. So it's an acute angle. So that's the quadrant, okay, in which we find it. Now, if this is the right angle triangle, then it means that tan theta, which is equal to x, tan theta equals x, the same as x over 1 because x over 1 is the same as x, okay? So if tan theta is equal to x over 1, now tan is twa, that is opposite over what? Adjacent. So then it means that the opposite is x and the adjacent is what? 1. So if the angle is here, the acute angle is here, opposite is x and the adjacent is what? 1. Then we can find the longer side of the right angle triangle. That is the h. That is the hypotenuse. So from the Pythagoras theorem, the square of the hypotenuse, that is the square of the longer side, is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So h square will be equal to x square plus 1 square. And this will be h square equals x square plus 1 square is 1, okay? So if you want to find h, if you want to find the longest side, the hypotenuse, you have to take the square root of both sides. When you take the square root of a square, the 2 take care of the square root, so the square root is gone. Now we have h is equal to the square root of the right hand side. The right hand side we have x square plus 1. So h will be the root of x square plus 1, okay? Now, how do you find sin theta? Sin theta. Sine is what? So. Because we have what you call SOHCAHTOA, okay? That is SOHCAHTOA. Sine, this is sine, this is cos, and this is tan. Are you getting that? So because we are finding sin theta is so opposite over hypotenuse, and the opposite to the angle is x. That's why it's x over the hypotenuse. That's the longest side. We have already calculated for it. We have the square root of x square plus 1. That is why it is x over the square root of x square plus 1. So this will be our sin theta if tan theta is equal to x over 1. This should be the end of the question. If you have any question, you can ask your question in the comment section. I will look at it and I will address it in my next tutorial. Share, like, comment for more. God bless you.